Hey, it's your guy Tyrrell back with the interviews. Chelsea Football Club and Antonio Conte have been complaining all season about signings. Their lack of activity in the transfer window over the summer is the reason why they aren't competing for the Champions League and they aren't competing for the league title. However, with the January transfer window opening, Chelsea have been linked with dozens of players. The first player they're being linked with this January is Ross Barkley. They tried to get him last summer and it's reported that they're going to get the job done this month. So on this edition of Interviews, I'm going to break down whether Ross Barkley would be a good or bad signing for Chelsea FC. So when we think of Chelsea Football Club, we have to look back to the last game against Arsenal, 3-3, Premier League classic, probably one of the best Premier League games you'll see this season, if not the best Premier League game. But there was one thing with Chelsea, and we've noticed this in big games this season, they lack goal-scoring options. They rely on Hazard and Morata too much. They don't get enough from midfield, especially when they play this 3-5-1-1, where they have the midfielders here. It's usually Fabregas, Bakayoko, Drinkwater, or Conte playing in that zone, and then they have Morata, and then they have Hazard. What happens? Hazard is able to float wherever he wants. You get the best out of him, but most of the time when he looks up, there's really no one there but Morata, who's stuck in the box, isolated against several defenders, can't really get anything going for them. We see some neat combinations. It's good, it's fun. Morata misses a few chances, sometimes he scores. Hazard misses a few chances, sometimes he scores. But they lack a bit of pedigree in the final third. They need more goal-scoring options, especially when they play the system. Sometimes the wingbacks get forward. Marcos Alonso's contributed. Victor Moses hasn't really had his best season, but Bakayoko isn't renowned for his goal scoring. Yes, sometimes they need him to make those runs into the box, but he's not renowned for that. Conte isn't renowned for that. Fabregas is more of a creator and a passer than a goal scorer. Then you think, okay, Chelsea needs something else. When they play a 3-4-2-1, it's a bit different. They get more variety. Willian has come up clutch in moments this season. He can't score goals, but he's not that reliable. Then you have Pedro breaking in behind the lines with Hazard, and that offers Chelsea a different element of attack. But the 3-4-2-1 hasn't really panned out the way it has last season. It's because a lot of teams have been familiarized with it. They understand how to break it down. Sometimes they match Chelsea three at the back and kind of play man versus man in that system, ensure that they press high to prevent Chelsea from breaking forward and building from the back, putting pressure on them, ensuring that those players can't make those runs. And Chelsea needs something else, especially when you look at the Champions League. They can't rely on 3-4-2-1 solely. Teams have figured that out. 3-5-1-1 also works well, but they don't lack enough goal scoring threats in midfield or in attack. You can isolate Hazard out of a game. The big European teams can do that. Morata, his form and his finishing has been inconsistent throughout the season. Is it his mental? Is it his confidence? Is it just him? Is he suffering from fatigue? Who knows? But Chelsea needs something else. The first player that they've been linked with, and it looks like the deal is about to be done. It's rumored to be around £50 million. Who knows? It's Ross Barkley from Everton. Hasn't played a game in a very long time. Chelsea tried to get him over the summer. Apparently, he walked out after his medical. Didn't happen. Wasn't 100% sure he wanted to go there. He's reaching full fitness. Chelsea want him. Conte has been keen on building an English core in the side, so you can understand why he'd want Ross Barkley. What does Ross Barkley add? Does Chelsea need him? When we look at the board, let's say they were to play 3-5-1-1. This is something that Ross Barkley does offer. Let's say they don't play a Bakayoko. Let's say they play a Conte, Barkley, Fabregas, or Drinkwater, Conte, Barkley. What he does offer is something different. Ross Barkley, obviously labeled to be a number 10. He won't play that role in this system. What Ross Barkley surprisingly doesn't offer, he doesn't create enough goals. That's been his problem, whether it be Everton lacking enough quality players around them, whether it be Everton lacking not enough goal scoring presence besides Romelu Lukaku when Lukaku was there with Barkley. Who knows? Maybe that can improve at Chelsea. Time will tell. He has everything to his game. If he plays in the midfield three, his best spells at Everton saw them play on the counterattack. He was able to break forward, carry the ball. He's a very good dribbler. He could bypass the pressure. That's something that Chelsea needs. And he could break late into the box and he can score goals. We know he can score goals. He's young. Obviously, you build that precise finishing and that crisp passing with age and as you get into your prime. So Ross Barkley wouldn't be a bad investment in that sense. However, if they were to play a 3-4-2-1, Barkley can fit into that role as well. what Barkley is very good at is his appreciation for space. He's able to find spaces in between the lines, in pockets, in the channels. He likes to move out wide to get onto the ball. He has no issues with that. He's gritty sometimes for the best, sometimes for the worst. If you look at the Merseyside derby a few seasons ago, it was probably one of Ross Barkley's worst games in terms of what he offered, but he does offer that gritty side to him, that disciplined side to him. That's something that Chelsea could benefit from. But when you look at Barkley, he could play in two roles here, and he could even play in the center midfield role, but I don't think they'll give him that. He doesn't need to be there because Conte is there, because Bakayoko is there, because Drinkwater's there. They need him if they play a 3, because he could break in, he could bypass pressure with his dribbling, he could score goals, his appreciation of space, he could get the balls in different angles, he can hold off pressure, he's strong. If players are on his back, he could hold it up, link play with teammates. He's a reliable ball retentioner. He's able to really impact games in different types of ways. Obviously, what he needs to add to his game is more assists, because he doesn't have enough assists for a player of his caliber. Will he improve that? Can he improve that? Passing into tight spaces, playing on the counterattack. You feel like the latter is what Barkley's good at, playing on the counterattack, distributing balls to his teammates, running in, kind of moving the ball wide, then breaking into the box rather than playing in the tight spaces. But he could develop that over time. And what they need from him is goals. Chelsea lack goals in this department. They need someone else to alleviate the pressure off Hazard, to alleviate the pressure off Morata. And this really isn't a bad move if the price is right for Chelsea. They don't want to overspend. It shouldn't be anywhere in the $40 million region or over the $30 million region. I'm pretty sure his contract is expiring very soon. Everton seemed like they're ready to part ways with Barkley, and it was between Spurs and Chelsea. Both sides could benefit from Barkley considering the way that they play, but who probably needs him more? Barkley can maybe be the final touch in the Spurs jigsaw puzzle. That is maybe a bit too much, but at Chelsea, where they need a goal scoring threat, where they need depth, where they need something different in midfield because they lack any sort of offensive threat in the final third, if Fabregas isn't distributing passes, is Ross Barkley. He could make the difference. He could help out Hazard and Morata. He could help out Willian Pedro and whoever else plays in that creative role, but that is what Chelsea may need. He could fit what they're looking for and could help them build going forward. But let me know what you guys think. Is Ross Barkley the man for Chelsea? Is he not? Should they spend the money on him? Should they keep away, maybe look for someone else? They need someone this January apparently, and they need them now. So let me know what you guys think. Meet me in the comments below. Don't forget I upload videos every day, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And that was your daily dose of the interviews.